Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. I don't know what happened with that last live. I am so sorry for everybody who might have been on. I will definitely make another apology when everybody's on again. Oh my gosh, I think I accidentally hit live, so hopefully everybody comes back on. Good morning, Eileen. I am so sorry about that last video. I don't know what was happening there. I think I accidentally hit live. I wasn't ready yet. So I'm going to pull a few cards this morning like we always do. I'm going to do some positivity ones too. And then we'll get right to our subject, which I actually saw. I actually saw several times this weekend. Good morning, baby sibling. I actually saw it several times this weekend, so I had a funny feeling that it was going to play a part in today's perspective. In fact, the last time I saw it was when baby sibling posted it on her story in Facebook yesterday. So, all right, let's see. Let's get rolling. All right, that's good. Hopefully, I'm not fighting the gardeners too much. Kind of hopefully gratitude them away. So let's see. I need space. Self-care is not selfish. It is necessary. Dun, 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 dun. Necessary. Oh, I love the puppy dog. That's the way it goes. Don't forget to have fun, be playful, and be attentive. Woohoo! Be the champion of your life. Do not quit. Do not quit. Oh, I tell you, yesterday I felt like quitting. It was not a good mental health day. Got a good idea? Make it happen. Ding. Right? So, here's the anchor card. We got this last week. When times are hard, don't throw your anchor. You can't get through the storm sitting in one place. Remember, you have to sail out of the sea of misery and into the ocean of bliss, okay? It's not always easy, but do not throw your anchor. Good morning, older sibling. Listen to your favorite music. Oh, I love that. I need to do some of that today. I think that's what's missing. I need to listen to music today. Embrace your weirdness. We had this one too. I love that card. Your chakras. Someone's chakras are out of alignment. I know mine are. I saw a great YouTube binaural beats video this weekend, and it was 9 can't remember. Oh no, there was 9 frequencies, but then there was also the video right after it was the chakras. It was like 9 minutes each, and it was perfect. It was amazing. So connection, your crown, intuition, your third eye, truth, your voice. I go from here because that's where your voice box is, okay? Yes, it has to come out and vomit out of your mouth, but it starts here. Your love in your heart, energy from your solar plexus. Remember, if you ever feel like you're running out of energy or something, just kind of rub your hands together to kind of focus. Sometimes it does warm up the hands, and then just place them almost like right on your tummy, okay, like right like this, and just give yourself some energy that will help kind of wake up your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is like the sunshine of your body. It's where your sun shines out of you, hence solar. But emotions, your sacral chakra, and which is kind of in your the reproductive area, and then your root, which is at the bottom. I like to look at it as a spinal thing, so at the bottom of your spine. Start each day with a grateful heart. Thank you. Start each day with a grateful heart. So remember, you are here for another day. Enjoy it, make the most of it, do what you can with it. I mentioned yesterday it was a terrible mental health day, and I think I am having a bad mental health day hangover today. Because it was a fucking doozy. But to everybody who sent the good vibes and stuff out yesterday, thank you so much for that. Like I said, I think I'm in that recovery mode now. And, it was just something I had to ride through. And it's not always easy. It can be really, really hard. I think a lot of times when we resist it and we fight it, it just gets worse. It really can get worse. So I know now, and I've known this for a while, which is why I did it yesterday. I just sometimes have to buckle down and just write it out. Sometimes it's just what you have to do. You just have to go with the flow and let whatever's going to happen, happen. I pulled 3 positivity cards for after we're done. But let's get rolling. Hodgepodge Monday. Like I said, again, to anyone who was on earlier when on the first live, I am so sorry. I do not know what happened there. Here I am profiling on the live, but it's like, I didn't see who was on it, just saw a couple eyeballs. So, this actually comes from Moon Omens. They're on Instagram and they're on Twitter. So I saw it on Twitter, I saw it on Instagram, and then I saw it in Baby Siblings Facebook stories, and I thought, okay, someone's screaming this at me to make this the subject for the day. So I'm just going to read it, and as you can see, it's quite long. So, but listen closely, okay, and then we'll go through it and kind of dissect it. So understand that letting go can be a form of loving yourself. Understand it is okay to choose yourself. Understand you are not a bad person for choosing to heal. We are taught how to please people, but rarely are we taught how to give what's important of ourselves. So take the time to learn and to understand who you are. Don't look for love in people before you look for it in yourself. Your heart does not beat the same as the person next to you. Be free to decide what love should look like to you. Your love doesn't have to be for everyone, but it does not mean your love is barren. It does not mean your love is not enough. It is simply worth holding and sharing with the right person. So let go of whatever love you had to carry that was not yours. Let go of the love you needed to give without the support of yourself. Run to who you are. Run to what your hands want to carry. Run to what your heart wants to feel. And don't look back. Don't look back on what could have been love based on who people wanted you to be. There are so many ways to really kind of interpret this. And I'll be honest with you, I have not figured the whole thing out yet. Okay, I have not figured out the whole thing. Basically, what I think this is really trying to tell us, and this is just my perspective, this is what we do on the perspective. I find things, I leave it for you to kind of interpret yourself. I will post the original, meme in the comments, so you can read it for yourself, because I did leave some lines out, and some of the lines I left out were just, to me, I don't know, I think they were a little much, but because it's a lot of information you're throwing at people in a very short paragraph. But if any part of this resonated with you, I think it's something that you should really look into and look back on. So we'll start at the beginning. Understand that letting go can be a form of loving yourself. Understand it is okay to choose yourself. Understand you are not a bad person for choosing to heal. We've talked about this a lot in the past, okay? There are people who feel, well, you should just forgive and forget. Or you should just forgive and move on. What a lot of people don't understand is forgiveness isn't about letting the other person off the hook, okay? Until people take accountability for their actions, like actually take accountability for their actions, things can't change. You know, I personally know people who are struggling, who, there are people who want to start, a relationship back up with them. And remember, relationship doesn't mean it is just a love relationship. It can be family, friends, work, whatever. But the person will not take accountability for their actions. They take accountability to everybody but the person they hurt. They throw out their sob story trying to make it sound like, oh, well, I'm not that same person anymore. You have to prove it. You have to show growth. You have to show accountability. If you do not show accountability, you are not growing. That is not personal growth. Pretending like things don't happen is not personal growth. I'm very honest about some of my shortcomings down here. I'm very honest about some of the bad decisions I've made in my life and some of the more questionable decisions I've made in my life, but they're mine. And for a very long time, I did not take accountability for them because I didn't want to feel worse than I already did. A lot of times the reason people do the things they do is because there's so much damage inside of them. There's so much pain inside of them that that's just one more thing they don't want to be bad at. But it actually takes a lot of strength to be accountable for the things you do, because you have to admit it. It doesn't matter what other people think about you. When you take accountability for the things that you've done in your life, you are literally setting yourself free. You're unburdening yourself. You're not trying to hide it anymore. You're not trying to hold back or not look at it or this, that, or the other. You are literally bringing it to the table to heal it. Heal it, process it, throw it out. Be done with it. Accountability, it's a really long word because it's a really long process. And the longer it takes you to understand that, the longer it is going to take to heal. So sometimes just be non-resistant. Take accountability. Understand that we make mistakes in life. Sometimes we make really big mistakes. And sometimes those mistakes are going to be unforgivable to somebody else. You cannot beg for somebody's forgiveness. You can ask. But if you're begging them to forgive you, all you're doing is putting them back in that spot again. You're putting them in that uncomfortable position of, kind of putting them in a place that you want them to be in. And that kind of covers the bottom line. Don't look back on what could have been love based on who people wanted you to be. A lot of times people aren't satisfied with the fact that they have not received somebody's forgiveness, so they overdo it. And, they overdo it. They try to be, the cherry on top of the sundae. And then because they haven't learned anything, they fall back into old ways. And the sad thing is sometimes when people do this so many times, when they actually do get better, there's a lot of wariness, there's a lot of skepticism. So trust me from my own personal experience. This is something that you should nip in the bud ASAP. And the reason I say that too is, like I said, there was a time when I feel so bad for older sibling. She had to deal with a lot of crap from me. And because there was just so much pain that was just coming up. But instead of letting it out, I was regurgitating it over and over and over again. And it kind of started conditioning things in our friendship, our sisterhood, in our personal sister relationship. And there are times now when I'll do something and she'll react. And I'm like, well, what's happening? And then I have to remind her, it's like, I'm really trying hard not to be that person anymore. You have to give me some leeway. And that's a big ask. That's a big ask. Because I have to tell you, while I'm not sure I was ever violent, I don't think I was ever physically violent. I was verbally aggressive, verbally angry, and just, like I said, there was so much pushed down. And that's not an excuse, but I'm telling you why I was like this. There was a lot of bad stuff about me. I mean, on the surface, I tried to be compassionate, I tried to be empathetic, I tried to be a kind person. Now I just am those things. I am kind, I am compassionate, I am empathetic. Not all the time. I can be an asshole sometimes, but that's pretty much anybody. We're human. But I think the problem is that it went on for so long because I was resisting the advice that she was giving me. I was resisting not getting help, not healing, not, instead of letting all this stuff come up and out, it would come up and I'd push it back down again. So again, I was regurgitating it. It was like, I don't know. It's like throwing up and swallowing it again. Isn't that gross? That is so gross. But that's exactly what it was. It was throwing up all this negativity that needed to be healed and saying, nope, I don't want to make a mess anymore, so I'm going to just suck it back down. But even this morning, I'm going through some weird thing right now, and I was like total snark with baby sibling on our text, and it's like, I immediately apologized. I'm like, I am so sorry. It's like, there's like, I don't know what is happening right now, but it just goes to show that we're not perfect, that we are going to have bad days. Okay. So we are taught how to please people, but rarely are we taught how to give what's important of ourselves. This is one of those things where there's like a huge disconnect in my head. It's like, I can see what I want to say, but for some reason it's not hitting my mouth. It's not hitting my voice box. And I'm not sure why. It's like it's stuck in the truth box, right? We are taught how to please people, but rarely are we taught how to give what's important of ourselves. We're always taught, well, be nice, be kind, do this, do that. And the question is for me, are we told to do these things so we make other people look good? Or are we told to do these things because they are actually a life skill? Or people think they're a life skill. You don't have to please people that do not deserve it. Just be yourself. If you want to host something, be a good hostess, be a good host. But when people start to take advantage of you, that's when you have to draw the line. And I think that, to me, in a way, we are taught how to please people, but rarely are we taught how to give what's important of ourselves. We're taught, offer them wine or food or whatever, It's like, hey, come over for dinner, right? We're just going to use this as an example. And then, you get up, you're serving them, you're bringing the plates to the table, you're pouring the wine, you're being a good host. But are you looking deeper? I mean, say you just have a friend over and you're trying to do everything for them, right? So you're taught to be a good host. You're taught to make sure that they have everything they need. But are you giving them the one thing they actually need? An ear. Because sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes people just want to come over and they just want to be heard. They want to be listened to. They don't want to just be cheered up or made to feel better or, hey, this will get better. There's a great meme I posted yesterday about how I was feeling, and it's a person hanging by one arm, I think it was one arm, off a cliff, like two little stick people. And there's another one standing on the cliff saying, hang in there, it gets better. And the person hanging off the end says, fuck you, okay? And it's about as blunt as you can get. It really is. It's about as blunt as you can get. Yeah, it'll get better. That's kind of the same idea. We're taught how to please people, but we're not always taught how to just be there for people. We're taught basically how to fix people. And you can't fix another person. You can guide them, you can help them. When you're sitting down at dinner saying, hey, how's everything going? Is everything okay? And if they answer like, your spidey instincts say, okay, everything is fine with them, then move on. Don't pressure them. But if feels like there's some kind of delay or your spidey instincts are really kind of screaming, just tell them, you know what? I know this is supposed to be a fun night, but if you need me, I'm here to listen. Don't worry about it, because that's what I'm here for. The there person, right? The person that will sit there and just listen. So take the time to learn and understand who you are. Who are you? Who do you want to be? I suddenly got that Oingo Boingo song in my head. Who do you want to be today? I love that song. Anyways, let me take this. I know it's in my head. I can't get it out. And I love it, but it's distracting me. So take time to learn and understand who you are. That's up to you. I cannot give you advice on that. But the only advice I can give, or the only perspective, I don't want to give advice because I am not a professional, but in my perspective, the one thing I can say about this is do take the time to get to know who you are. There was a long time when I had imposter syndrome, there you go. Eileen says, I've seen a quote that goes with the meme you posted. Anything is possible when you have the right people to support you. Yes. And it is true. It's like this commercial we have right now for online therapy, where the person is, the person in question is literally just sitting there like, while everybody gives them advice. And you can see them want to roll their eyes. You can see them just kind of doing that whole dim face thing, like, really? It's like, I know you mean well. And that's just it. People mean well, but they don't always understand. And part of the reason a lot of people don't understand is because we have stigmatized mental health. We have stigmatized these bad things that happen. I read an article today about a woman in England who, I think it was 9 years ago now, or it will be 9 years this year, who, a doctor. And whatever happened, it was, she ended up in custody, and what progressed after that was just horrible. It was horrible. Nothing against the police or anything, because there's so many good ones out there. But, maybe that's what we need to focus on too, is parading around the good ones. So that everybody trusts them more, because a lot of times when we put out these articles on just what the bad ones do, everyone starts having this distrust, right? There's a balance in everything. But what I'm trying to get on with this one is nobody believed her. Nobody believed her. Until finally they got a hold of the CCTV video, and then it was like, oops, our bad. 9 years. Okay, well, 8 years, I think, at the time that, it finally started getting resolved. There was a lot of years that nobody spent believing her. Now, imagine if you were a child and you've been through some pretty horrid stuff, or even an adult who's been through some pretty horrid stuff. I know people who have been hurt and damaged by their significant others, but nobody believes them, because it's like, well, why would somebody do that to you? You're a couple. You'd be surprised. No means no. Okay, period. I don't care who you are, who you're married to, if you're married, if you're just in a relationship, no means no. Okay? It's as simple as that. Anything beyond that, you're violating somebody. You're violating their space, you're violating who they are, and you're hurting their psyche even more. And a lot of times people get so beaten down over life that they kind of give up and think, well, this is all I deserve. And that's the problem. This is why we don't, we don't take the time to learn and understand who we are, because we think we are who we are, judged on other people's, expectations, other people's views on us, what other people tell other people, and you're not allowed to defend yourself. And then when you finally are allowed to defend yourself, everyone's kind of like, yeah, well, I don't know about that. So remember, there are two sides to every story. All right. Don't look for love in people before you look for it in yourself. We've had that talk. Have we not? We have totally had that talk. You have to look for love in yourself. You have to love yourself so other people can love you. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. If you don't have complete self-love and you find yourself maybe in a relationship, right? I'm going to go back on my own experiences on this one. I did not have self-love when I was younger. I might have had a little bit, but I didn't have a lot. And again, this is nothing against anybody I was ever with or dated. We all have our shortcomings, okay? But I chose wrong, because anybody that paid attention to me, I thought was perfect for me, and it's because I didn't love myself, and I made a lot of bad choices in that department. I tried to make things work when it shouldn't have worked, and when it kept trying to end. Or, I had one boyfriend that would break up with me just so he didn't feel bad cheating on me. It's not cheating. We weren't together. And it's like, but then I kept taking this person back. And I don't know. I'm not saying that it makes you a bad person, because it doesn't. But that's when you have to find that self-love. That's when you know that there is something that is not right inside of you, that is hurting so bad, that just screaming for attention. It's like I said, I always joke about being single, but there's a line down here that I really love that is the truth, where it says, it's actually the next part. So, your heart does not beat the same as the person next to you. It does not. Everybody is an individual human being. Be free to decide what love should look like to you. What does love look like to you? If it's a struggle, you need to start looking deeper, okay? Your love doesn't have to be for everyone. That's across the board, period. Some people may love some people. Other people may be like, yeah, I don't, we just don't click. Sorry. But it does not mean your love is barren. That does not mean you're not capable of loving somebody else. Everybody is capable of loving somebody. It does not mean your love is not enough. I really felt that way this weekend. I just felt like I was not good enough. I was body shaming myself left, right to Sunday. I was having and I think that it just led right into my bad mental health day yesterday. It was just how many different ways can I just put myself down? And then it says right here, this is what I was talking about when I said about being single for a long time. It is simply worth holding and sharing with the right person. In my past, I have made bad decisions. I have chosen, attention and misconstrued it as being love and affection. And in some cases, I think it was. I think there was that mutual connection, that mutual bond, that mutual self-respect. But then after a while, I start falling back into that, please people. We learn how to please people, but are rarely taught what's important, how to give what's important of ourselves. And I didn't stand up for myself. And I just kept doing and doing and doing. And thinking that it was going to be okay. I figured the more I gave, the more I get back, but I didn't. I was serving from an empty cup. And every so often I'd get maybe a little nip, right? And so, and it's actually hard to think about now. Nobody ever wants to admit that, they're not really sure. I don't know. I have no words on that one because my mind is going blank, but I think I'm battling myself on that one, to be honest with you. And it kind of goes back to the beginning, what we were talking about, that sometimes it's hard when we put the mirror up to our face and we see the things we don't want to see. And I know it's something I'm going to have to heal. I know it's something that I'm going to have to let go. But I do know that I hold my love for the right person now. Whoever that person is, whoever you are out there, wherever you are out there. I'm waiting. No, seriously. That's just me. I choose this. There's times too, you go on dating sites. I've been on dating sites, and I have to tell you, they're rough. Okay? If you are not perfect, I've been on dating sites and literally, people are like, well, why don't you go back on? It's like, because it kind of gets a little degrading when you get 0 hits. And this is across the board. This is over the last probably 15 years that, you just try it and you're like, yeah, okay, well, and then your self-esteem gets shot even more. And you're just kind of like, you know what, forget it. I just don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. And I started the dating sites actually, no, I don't even think it was that long ago, maybe about 10 years ago, and then my cousin actually went on and set up a profile for me. And it's like, what are you doing? And still nothing, or you get these people who just, they don't even want to meet in person. They're just kind of like, yeah, let's just do this online thing. It's like, no, sorry, not my thing. And it's fine. I actually don't mind the online thing, but I don't know. I don't think I'm picky. But at the same time, it always seems to be one thing. When I say online thing, it's just like, there's just one thing on their mind. I literally thought I made a connection with somebody once, and it turns out they just wanted to sext. And it's like, okay, that's not, hey, we just literally met. All right. And I think if you have that connection with someone, great, but they weren't even trying to make a connection. This may be TMI, but it's the truth. And the old me would have been like, oh, this is perfect. This is what they want from me. But the new me is like, fuck no. Get to know me. Let's have a conversation. And so that was a long time ago. In fact, it's funny because I actually stayed friends with this person. They're married with kids now. But it's like, I literally nipped that in the bud. It's like, no. All right. It was for a while, and then it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not feeling this. This is not what I want. So it's like, But then it was funny because I nipped that in the bud, and then we actually became friends, and they got to know me, and it's kind of like, okay, see, it's not so bad, is it? But it's weird how you make friends sometimes. But the truth of the matter is I had to find my own self-love, and it's taken me a long time to find that. And even now, I have to remind myself of it and kind of go through refresher courses with myself, because I think we do tend to forget that. And I do think we do forget that we have the choice to hold our love for the person that is the right person. That doesn't mean you can't date. That doesn't mean don't go out there and do your thing. But also be open to the fact that you might find that person. And hey, if things happen like that, just go with the flow. But the thing is, the reason I said it was kind of like get to know me first was because back then I was so skeptical and wary of everyone. I didn't know how to listen to my intuition. And, nowadays some people just meet, they click, even if it's online, even if they just discover each other online, have Zoom calls or phone calls or texting, or, doing those apps. It's like, I think I'm on WhatsApp and Kick, and I'm on there because of my friends from a game I play. But it's just weird, some of the stuff that you get from these random people. It's like, who are you? I don't even know you. Because, they're trying to get those hits, right? They're trying to get those likes. But yeah, just open with a hi, hello, how are you? Is it that hard? No, it is not. But use your spidey instincts, guys. Practice that self-love. Know what you deserve. And, I don't think there's a time limit on connection. Some people think, I've known people who waited years to get married, right? And I'm not saying everybody's going to end up in marriage, okay? That's a personal choice. But I've known people who have taken years to get married because, like, well, we want to wait until we're sure. We want to wait until our careers. We want to buy a house. We want to do this. We want to do that. Then they get married, and like 3 years later, they're done. Meanwhile, on the flip side, I've had other friends who were also mutual friends of these friends who met and were married within the year and are still married like 10, 15 years later. So see, sometimes just go with the flow. If you trust it, let it happen. Okay? So let go of whatever love you had to carry that was not yours. Okay, we did that one. Let go of the love you needed to give without the support of yourself. I think a lot, I'm going to equate this one to family. Okay, let go of the love you needed to give without the support of yourself. I don't care who they are across the board, people have to earn your love. Maybe growing up you felt like it was the right thing to do, was the thing you're supposed to do. But when people don't change and people don't take accountability and they just keep pretending like they're doing that, you have every right to withhold your love. You have to earn it. It's kind of something that just comes with the territory, right? If you're a parent or a family member or even friends, because we do love our friends. I love a lot of my friends. I love all my friends. My circle is small, but it's small for a reason. Because I love everybody in it. Well, it's probably not as small as I think it is, but my immediate tribe. But after a while, when we start to get older, you start to notice the damage that people can do to other people. You start to notice that the way you're treated in one respect is not how you should have been treated all this time. I know somebody personally who just is so in awe when somebody does something nice for them. It's like, well, this has never happened before. And it's like, well, get used to it because this is what you deserve. This is what you don't earn it. You deserve it. Okay. There are a lot of people out there that says, well, when we're kids growing up, you do earn things, and that's good because you're teaching kids responsibility. You're teaching them, how to work for something. But when it comes to love, when I say that you have to earn the respect and the love from somebody, it means you need to give back equally to what they're giving you. That was the one thing about my relationships. They were very lopsided. But I didn't know that. I didn't see that. I thought my love was enough for everybody. Because I've always been full of that. Because I've always wanted to be a part of something, right? Something special. And when you're a part of something special, you figure your love is enough. But it's enough for everybody but you. Because now you are serving from an empty cup. You are serving from a place of not being seen. And it starts to hurt. So make sure that people, that you don't just throw your love in any direction. Okay? You have to love yourself first. Your self-love will guide you to the right people who will honor and love you, whether it's in a workplace, in your family, in a relationship with your kids, whatever. Just mutual respect. Run to who you are, run to what your hands want to carry, run to what your heart wants to feel, and don't look back. Okay? Don't look back on what could have been love based on who people wanted you to be. I think that kind of fits this really great quote that I was reminded of this morning. Do not set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Do not set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Do not. All right? When you give, basically you give what you get, what you give. Okay? It all comes down to that. You get what you give. And if you are giving all kinds of good things, you're going to start reaping those rewards. You're going to start seeing the good that will come to you. This is why I talked about accountability early on, because if you don't, you may get a lot of things around me except the one thing you want. All right? I heard another thing that says, just repeat this all day long. I am satisfied. I am satisfied. And that helps to start raising your vibration. Or I am happy. I am joyful. Even when you're not feeling it, right? I think that's the biggest time is when to say that. It's even when you're not feeling it. I am happy. I am joyful. I am satisfied. So, let's see. I got 3 positivity cards. My work is deeply fulfilling. I love this card. That's fantastic. It's like, hey, let's just run out with a net and start catching stars. Or whatever those are. They look like stars or flowers. My work is deeply fulfilling. Today, I give my best to that which I do, knowing that when one experience is complete, I am led to even more fulfilling and rewarding experiences. Yeah, in the back of my head, I knew that this particular perspective was going to be a rough one. It is my perspective, and it is my opinion only. And I knew it was going to be hard because I knew I was going to trip all over this one. And I did kind of trip all over this one. I feel like I've been talking at him at the left side of my head for a while. And this is not what I would consider to be one of my better perspectives. But at the same time, I think a lot of times it's good to show that, there is going to be a struggle sometimes. And I think it was hard because I think there's a lot of me in what I read today. There's a lot that I need to do because, sometimes I don't feel good enough. Good enough and like worthy enough. Sometimes I lack that self-respect that says, hey, you deserve a lot of things. So, stop hiding behind, all your excuses and your fears and all that crap. But, I know, I don't know, I'm not even sure if baby siblings on or not anymore, but she told me last week or the week before that I'm not allowed to apologize in these anymore. And, I think what it is, it's like when you watch a TV show, right? Some are going to be great, but every so often you're going to get that not so fresh one. And I feel like that was me today. But the reason I'm kind of pointing that out is because, it just goes to show that even when you kind of fall down and you feel like it's not good enough, just keep going. All right, just keep going. Last night, I was going to cancel today. I was going to just, sorry, my brain is rebelling too much. But today I think I needed to hear what I had to say. I think I needed to see the things that I needed to see, and share the fact that I have had to take accountability for my life, for a lot of the things I've done in my life. And, when I see people react the certain way that they do, and it's not just older siblings. Sometimes it would have been my parents or or my dad now, since my mom's been gone a while. But they'll say like, well, don't get so excited. It's like, I literally just said one thing. It's like, you guys have got to give me some space to grow. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. And I'm certainly not the same person I was a year ago. Now 6 years ago, I could say, yeah, I'm still kind of the same person as last year. And I would have said, I'm not the same person as I was last year. But I never allowed myself the room to grow. I never allowed myself the freedom to just be, to just, allow myself to fall down and have bad shows, or to kind of stumble and, trip and fall over over very long memes. But I know, like I said, I'm going to post it in the comments. I also know, though, that that sometimes this is how we learn. This is how we get better. Tomorrow is going to be a much more fun conversation topic. I actually saw it on Reddit the other night and I loved it. I was like, yeah, you know what? This would make a good subject. It's not so deep. It's just, it might get deep because of the subject matter, but the whole idea of it isn't. And it was actually kind of funny when I was reading it, and I did reply to it, but I don't want to give away what it is because I want you to come back tomorrow. So let's finish up with these cards. Look at that. I was holding on to this one the whole time and I didn't even realize it while I was talking. I'm willing to let go. I am willing to let go. I release others to experience whatever is meaningful to them, and I am free to create that which is meaningful to me. So again, if you've had shortcomings in the past, guys, and people kind of react to you the way they used to, don't get mad. Okay, because at first I would get upset. I'd be like, you know what? Why do you think I'm still that same person? It hurts, this, that, and the other. And then one day I said that and I stopped. And I remember apologizing and saying, you know what? I'm sorry. I said, I think my problem is that I realize that this is how I've conditioned you to react to me because of my silliness, because of my ridiculousness at one point in my life. And that's where I had to take accountability. That's where I had to understand that my actions caused these things. And it's taking a while to clean up a lot of those messes. I am a constant worrier and I'm really trying not to be. And yesterday I just said one thing and my dad's like, you worry too much. And I literally was just trying to be courteous, because I told him a couple days ago, it's like, hey, you're almost out of toilet paper. And then yesterday I took the last roll and it's like, ooh. So I just wanted to let him know just in case. But the thing is, I wanted to get mad, but then I realized, you know what? I worried so much sometimes that I would nag, and I didn't mean to nag, but I guess I did. And I just told him, I said, you know what? I said, I wasn't worrying. I was just being courteous. So, just in case. And it was kind of that was that. But then I realized too that he wasn't wrong, that I still do worry a lot, and I'm trying not to do that anymore because it's hindering my growth. It's hindering my progress. And I don't want to be hindered anymore. I don't think of myself as old, but I'm old enough to know better. Okay? I'm old enough to know better, and I'm old enough to move forward on a path that has shown me that, fear leads you nowhere. Fear leads you absolutely nowhere. It leads you to dark tunnels. It leads you into walls. It leads you into dead ends. And, it's like being in a cave, right? And or being in a tunnel. And somebody says, oh yeah, it's open on the other side. But maybe there was a cave in, right? But, you have a pickaxe, you have a shovel, and maybe you have a sledgehammer. I don't know. Whatever it takes to get out of all this crap, right? But you're standing there in fear going, oh, shit, what do I do? It could even just be a wall of rocks that you can literally push over, if you push hard enough, and it falls down and poof, there's the other side. But we let fear stop us. We let fear be that obstacle. That wall of rocks is fear. You feel trapped. You feel like, well, maybe I should just turn back and not try this again. Try the other way. Push through. Push through the fear. Push those rocks over and climb over them or push them, pull them out. Use your sledgehammer of life, use your pickaxe, whatever it is that you have, and these are all proverbial, okay? Not an actual thing, but unless you're actually stuck in a cave. but anyways, sorry. Sidetrack. Push through the fear. That's how you get to the other side. And I think I need to push through not worrying anymore. Oh, I love this. There is no blame. I love the fact that there's a black cat on it. I love black cats. They're so cute. They are. It's like sometimes all you can see are their eyes. They're so adorable. I release the need to blame anyone, including myself. We're all doing the best we can with the understanding, knowledge, and awareness we have. I like that. We're all doing the best we can. So, just be kind. Be compassionate. Be delightfully awkward like me, if you want to be. Because I do think I'm delightfully awkward. Emphasis on the awkward. But you know what? I like myself. I do. Yesterday I did not like myself at all. Today I love myself. Well, look, there, that just popped out of my mouth. Today I love myself. Because I see my struggle now. And even with what we read today, I think it actually opened my eyes to what I need to work on and what I need to do. And that's all I want for you guys. That's why I do the perspective. I do it because I know every so often we need to hear it from somebody else. The weirdest thing was this morning when I opened Twitter, I saw that article about that woman getting her apology and after being basically emotionally assaulted. And I couldn't understand why I did, but I think what it was, it's perseverance. She didn't stop. She didn't stop until people were held accountable for their actions. And that's what it's all about. It's not just about who caused it. It's a big part because those are people who have power. And, what is it in Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility, right? And if you abuse that power, you're going to get caught. All right? No one ever gets off scot-free, one way or the other. Even if it just slaps you with karma. So be careful of what you do. Treat people with kindness. It doesn't take much. It's not even that hard. It is not that hard to treat people with kindness. Somehow people think it is, but it is not. Be compassionate, be empathetic. You get more out of people by being kind than you do by being cruel and angry. Okay? Because then all you're really putting in them is fear. And is that what you really want? You want everyone to be afraid of you? No. Do you want everyone to react to you the way that, you condition them to react to you? No. Because I'm still repaving those roads. And it is not easy. It is not easy. But these are the things that I've done in my past to make people a little skeptical and wary. And because of my own pain. Because of my own shame that I felt inside of me. Don't take your hurt out on other people. If you need help, go get help. There's plenty of people out there. I mean, there are so many things online. There's apps now. You don't even have to, you can be anonymous practically, not totally. But, just get the help you need. Take accountability. And, just remind people kindly, I'm not that person anymore. You have to, every so often that person may rear its ugly head. Hopefully it doesn't. Mine does every so often. But just tell them, I'm not that person anymore. And you need to give me the space to show you this. Okay? So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you back here tomorrow, I hope. 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook Live. It is public. Anybody can watch. It will be uploaded by or before noon Pacific Standard Time on YouTube, so you can catch it there. I do post it to Twitter later in the day. So if you do see it on Twitter, I will post the comment in the comments, or the meme in the comments on those two as well. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I know this is kind of a long, rambly one, but I guess I had a lot to say, and I think I had a lot I needed to hear for myself. So Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Tomorrow we have Tuesday Thoughts. It'll be, like I said, I think it'll be more of a fun subject. So, and it really is a subjective subject, but I'm curious. I really, really hope people pop on tomorrow because I want comments tomorrow. I want people to tell me what they think about this. So, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.